Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my Sun in the Composite Chart series, or Sun in the Houses in the Composite Chart series. In this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your composite Sun in the second house. So what is the composite chart? The composite chart is different than the synastry, the relationship chart. Comparison, comparing the two charts. It's an actual separate chart based on the midpoints of the two charts. So it's like the chart of the relationship itself. And you can do this for all types of relationships. It shows more about the combined energies that you both become together. Yeah, kind of like a natal chart for the relationship. So the composite Sun in the second house is kind of a durable position. It's not super flowery or romantic. It could sometimes show that the people are a bit more reserved together and focused on more serious things or material things. So something that the books say on this composite chart placement is that it is excellent for business partnerships of all kinds and making money together. So wherever the composite Sun falls shows the major thrust of light and energy in the relationship and a major theme. So it's definitely very important to look at and to study. And it just kind of is what it is. It falls wherever it falls. So if it's falling in the second house, though, there is this theme of the material, the physical, the tangible, and it can definitely show that you can do well together and make money together in a business venture. But it can also just show that the way that you shine as a couple is more physical or more practical rather than, like I said, super flowery or romantic. You're more of like a down-to-earth couple. And it can actually show a very strong bond, a very loyal, long-term bond. The second house in the composite chart is different than it is in the synastry in a sense that not that it's not bad in synastry. I mean, it is what it is there. But when we combine in the composite chart with planets there, or specifically Sun there, it's actually a pretty good indication that there's a lot of real concern and care for the other person in a super down-to-earth way. And it does tend to show up in long-term partnerships. Now, there can usually be that kind of financial theme as well, though, where together you do become more concerned with the material, like what do we own? And also it can show that you become more of a true to self and true to what you value person. So when you're in this relationship, it brings out who you truly are and what you truly value. Now, you could have this position, you could have the Sun square to Pluto or square to Mars or opposite to Uranus or something, and have some more difficult, tense aspects to Sun, right? Then the way that this is going to be brought up is going to be more difficult, more headbutting, not so much harmony. It's, you have to look at all the aspects and everything. But if this is, more well aspected, this is one of those relationships that's really going to teach you who you are on a practical level. You can become more solid in this relationship. Like, it may not be easy, but it's steady. So the composite second house can represent self-worth and what you value, what is worthy for you to invest in or have in your life. So when the composite Sun is in the second house, this is all brought to the surface. And if it's well aspected, this can feel like a relationship that is worth committing to or worth investing in, and a relationship that, yeah, like I've said, helps you increase your personal self-worth from, knowing who you are more clearly and what you truly value more clearly. So it's definitely a strong and enduring bond, but it can be lacking in joy or lightness because it's more conservative, it's more practical, it's more like you get in this relationship and you do become more business-like, more serious, which can be good for a long-term relationship where, you are committing to each other in a serious way, or you are in a business partnership committing to material acquisition and, things like that. So it can be very good depending on who the people are, what type of relationship they want, and what aspects are being made here. So the second house also has a lot to do with our values. So the composite second house has a lot to do with what we value as a couple. So if the sun is positively aspected, it shows that we're in general in agreement about our values here, and that can really go a long way in a couple. What else? Yeah, this one is actually surprisingly common in long-term relationships and couples. Interestingly enough, I actually have this one with my dad and my son. So I think it can show up in familial relationships as well. Relationships where you do have that enduring bond because you're your family too. And yeah, it can definitely show a relationship that either increases your self-worth a lot or brings to the surface issues of self-worth that you have. So it could even seem at times that this relationship, it brings up everything for you. It brings up your self-worth issues. It brings up your financial issues, or it increases them. So you have to look at the aspects that are being made in the composite chart in its entirety. But this is definitely a durable position, an enduring position, and a sober-minded position where you do just truly care about each other at a deep level. And even with all of the differences, there's this energy of, well, okay, it is what it is, and I've committed to this person, and that's what's important. The second house too can be a house that, yeah, like I said, we want to commit to. It can be a more physical energy as well. So in a romantic relationship, it can be a more sensual placement for the sun to be. And we can also see that with other planets coming into the second house, that we do have a more primal physical focus as well. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this composite chart placement. Did you increase in wealth, or like was this person like your lucky charm financially, or was it kind of the opposite? I'd love to know your experience of this placement of the composite sun. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye, you guys.